Today, class, we are learning about atoms. Jamal, turn those shenanigans off and sit your batootie down.
Okay, Mr. Phillips.
Now that everyone is here, Jamal, we will start the lesson. Our lesson today will be about atoms, which are made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons. The proton has a positive charge. The neutron has a neutral charge, and the electron has a negative charge.
Mr. Phillips, what's a neutral charge?
A neutral charge is no charge. Now, Bartholomew, would you please pass out the periodic table to every student in the class?
Okay, Mr. Phillips.
Now that everyone has a periodic table, we will look at the element of oxygen. This is the atomic number, showing how many protons there are. The atomic mass, showing how many protons and neutrons there are.
How do you determine the number of electrons?
Oh, must have slipped my mind. The number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. Therefore, oxygen has 8 protons, 8 electrons, and has 8 neutrons because you do the atomic mass minus the atomic number to get the number of neutrons. Let's give another example, class. This is the element of hydrogen. Bartholomew, how many protons, electrons, and neutrons does hydrogen have?
Let me check my periodic table of elements, Mr. Phillips. Hydrogen has exactly 1 proton, 1 electron, and if my calculations are correct, no neutrons. Is that right, Mr. Phillips?
Very good, Bartholomew. Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, can anyone tell me what an atom looks like? Not that atom, Jamal. A-T-O-M. This is what an atom looks like.
We learned that in basketball yesterday, Mr. Phillips. The nucleus contains the protons and the neutrons. The first shell contains 2 electrons, and every shell after that contains 8 electrons in each shell. But Mr. Phillips, that makes no sense. Hydrogen has 1 electron in total. How can it have 2 electrons in its first shell?
Yes, Bartholomew, that is correct. Hydrogen does only have 1 electron, therefore it only has 1 electron on its valence shell.
So what's a valence shell?
A valence shell is the atom's outermost shell.
Does that mean fluorine has 2 electrons on its innermost shell and 7 on the valence shell, Mr. Phillips?
Yes, that is correct, Bartholomew. Now, Adam, can you please tell me how many electrons are in each shell of chromium?
Chromium has, it has 2 electrons on its innermost shell, 8 on the next shell, 8 on the next shell, and then 6 electrons on its outermost shell. Is that correct, Mr. Phillips?
Yes, that is correct, Adam. Now, for Monday, we will be having a quiz on the periodic table. You must know every single atom on the periodic table, know how to draw it, know how many electrons, protons, neutrons there are, and I will not supply you with the periodic table, so know it by memory.